Hey everybody, this is Killer Arcade Games. I'm Chris, and today we're continuing my MAME cabinet build, taking a cabinet that was a Mortal Kombat 2 cabinet originally, that was then turned into a Maximum Force arcade conversion cabinet, and now I'm converting it into a Mortal Kombat 1 themed MAME cabinet. So I didn't plan to do a traditional intro like this, I just wanted to dive right into it, but unfortunately the progress is getting slowed down by a number of different things, so I had to make kind of a smaller video this time. My wife and I, or as you guys know her, Lady Cag, are gonna do some Bondo work in this video, and we've never done it before. Spoiler, turns out Lady Cag's pretty good at it. So without me talking anymore, let's just go right into the process and you'll see how much progress has been made on the cabinet. Alright, we got a back door on the cabinet now. Had to use plywood because I went to buy MDF and I did not want to have to cut it myself because I have the famous crooked eyes, as I say, which means I'm never going to get this thing straight. And they refuse to cut MDF at Lowe's and Home Depot. So I just bought a 3/4 inch piece of plywood. I'm going to paint it black. It's not what I wanted, but who cares? It's just the back of the cabinet. I just wanted to cover it up. And since the art has been ordered, everything's been ordered from XL Arcade, I think I'm just going to start prepping the cabinet for sanding and all that. I'm going to take off all of these monitor brackets, which are what these bolts out here are for. We get both of those. I got to get all of, I guess, 8 of those off on the cabinet, and then I can start sanding off all the stuff on the side, and we can go from there. I do not want to drop them, so I'll just get them off like that. And I'll probably just take these and sand them down a little bit and give them a nice coat of paint too. Well, we got the cabinet out to the street. Everything is torn down out of it. And we're realizing we're gonna have to do a little bit of work ahead of the Bondo, and we're gonna have to Bondo even more than I originally planned. This stuff's gonna have to be cleaned up a little bit. Probably just rip this off. And hopefully we can make a nice Bondoed edge down there so it looks, you know, halfway decent. And we got these wooden dowels smashed into the holes here so I can fill them in with the Bondo stuff. First we have to sand off some of this though, because these are just sticking up. Let's hope this looks good. So we're gonna try some Bondo here. Never messed with any of this stuff before. We're gonna be doing these holes. We're gonna try Bondoing up the bottom here. We're using the cardboard as like a place to hold it, so just mash a bunch of Bondo in here and then we'll shave off what isn't needed. This is what it looks like after you pile it on. This is where the big hole was.
Like when somebody doesn't know what they're doing, piles it on.
No, you did fine. I don't know if you can hear Lady Cag. She's all stressed thinking she doesn't know what she's doing. She's the one doing the Bondo work, which I'm kind of enjoying because I suck at this kind of stuff. So we're just gonna leave this nasty little mound of this crap here and we just sand it down to look flat like that, to where you don't really see the hole anymore. Quick update, the cabinet is now sideways and I think we're looking pretty good. We ended up fixing, or I should say Lady Cag ended up fixing a ton of stuff. She will not let me even do it. I think she's enjoying repairing arcade cabinets now, but this stuff hasn't been sanded yet, but we're getting it all ready. And it turned out that we needed to do a whole lot more since the whole back of the cabinet was pretty torn up. The reason for that is when we go to put the art on, we're gonna have a nasty jagged edge there when we're trying to cut the excess art off, so we're just gonna sand all this down and hopefully make a nice smooth edge. All that's left after that is to flip the cabinet on the other side and do the back side of that one too. Well, here's the cabinet. It's all Bondoed up, it's sanded. The only reason I didn't paint is it's extremely windy today. There's gonna be like 40-mile-per-hour gusts, so we're gonna do that later, but I also had to wipe it all down because you touch it and your hands would just be black from all the paint dust from the sanding, but it's good to go. It looks like crap right now, but this is all going to get painted gloss black up front. I got to clean up the coin doors and all that and then repaint those too. So there's the Bondo job. It is pretty clean. I mean, for people who've never done it before, I'm actually happy with how it turned out. It is not, you know, a perfect edge, but at least the jagged, messed up parts are missing now. We had so many, if you look at it really closely, we had so many areas that were just missing that we had to make a new corner on. So thanks to Lady Cag, who seemed to really enjoy doing it, so I just let her have fun. This part also was missing a bunch of the edge, and now it's a nice, smooth, continuous corner there. Well, next it's time to get everything painted. I've got to prime some of the areas with the Bondo on the front here, and I've got to get these cleaned up. I'm going to paint those too. Also got to paint the back door. So I'm going to do all that probably in high speed mode for you guys to watch, but at least you'll potentially see some of it getting done. All right, I'm painting the cabinet now. I'm not really showing this part just because it's not super exciting, but what I'm doing is just doing a nice border around the perimeter here. There's still some touch-up work I need to do, but doing a border around the perimeter, that way when the art is on, if the art doesn't go perfectly to the edge, you don't see like a spot where I bondoed. Well, this is what it looks like now after the paint job. You can still kind of see the problems here. You can definitely see I should have sanded this a little bit more, but whatever, it is what it is. And this is outdoor lighting, whereas it's never going to be seen like that inside. You can kind of tell it was there here, but I imagine in darker lighting you won't see it as well. Overall, not too terrible for the first time. I still got to get the parts in to replace all this. Everything's sweaty right now because it is actually steamy and rainy. Our weather changes so darn much, but this is a couple weeks later and I'm just showing this now. So yeah, that's just sweating essentially. Yeah, and here's another fun example. This is the arcade one up. Look at this. It's all just sweated up, or sweat up, I don't know. Probably not good. I'm gonna have to get this thing out of here, I guess. I was keeping it. You can see the art starting to peel back a little bit there. I was keeping it thinking I didn't want to sell it, but there's no way it can survive this kind of cycle of heating and dewing and sweating and whatever you want to call it. So I guess I'm just gonna have to get rid of this cabinet, sell it, and get it out of here. This cabinet was in really rough shape. I'm happy to bring it back to where it is now. Now I still need to do the control box itself, where the control panel sits. It still needs some Bondo work. I realized that later after recording everything. So you'll probably see some of that in the next video. And in the next video, I think I want to start diving into trying to get the Arcade 1-Up hardware inside the cabinet. If you're confused about what I'm talking about, you can go watch the other videos, but essentially I'm gonna build a PC-based main cabinet, but I also wanted to tie in the Killer Instinct Arcade 1-Up hardware just so I could play online with everybody on the channel. We'll see if it works out. I'm starting to get less and less positive on that, but you'll have to see as time goes on. Well, thank you guys again for pushing me along on this project and helping fund it just by watching my videos, and it's turned out to be more expensive. I kind of wish I'd gone back and just found, I could have just driven farther and got a better off cabinet, but this is what I ended up with, and I'm gonna have to stick with it. So it's gonna make for several more videos, thankfully, and we'll keep moving forward on the project. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next video.